I just wanted to do a quick video. I've been meaning to, and I keep messing with the program and re-recording and re-recording, and just having issues trying to figure out how everything works. I just posted one just because. Um, let's see, update. Um, it's kind of hard to pick where to start. I went to the doctor last Wednesday, and it was really hard to sit and listen because I really didn't have much input. It was really hard to sit and listen to somebody else basically tell what happened. Um, my memory is, I can't say it's really coming back. There are things that have happened that have kind of just triggered things. It's kind of like somebody came through and ransacked your filing system. You didn't lose anything, but all the files are mixed up. So like if I try to remember, what cheese is, instead of going through the food file cabinet and then, things that are orange or dairy, and to find cheese, I have to just search and don't usually come up with the correct answer, or just have to have it shown to me. Food has been a really hard thing to figure out what to eat, what I eat. Most of the time we go somewhere, I just say order what I usually get because I just don't know what I like. Names and faces have been hard. Unless I've seen somebody the last few days, I don't really remember them. I can't really identify pictures too well unless I've seen the person. It just depends. And we had a really busy weekend, unfortunately. There's a family thing, and it was really hard to try to remember all these people. Jackie has a really, really large family. My family is really small, so it was quite a challenge to keep up with all the people and who they were and what they meant, and all that. But I think I did okay. Everybody says I do okay. I'm not sure what that means. What's okay when you can't remember anything? We have auditions again tomorrow. I know what that means now because I went last week. I seem to remember what I do to a point, enough to get by, but I think that's kind of how that's always worked. Anyway, so it's getting better, but the process can't be rushed, and it's not the kind of thing that I can do a whole lot to make it come back, except just, try to move through the world and reorient myself. I don't really have any concrete memories, but I do remember like stories and things like that, so that's really kind of odd. I have muscle memory intact. Like if you hand me something, I know what to do with it, but I don't know what the name is. I can recall song lyrics, but I don't know what the music's from. So that was a cute little fun, entertaining game that they found out. So basically, all what we figured is all the information's intact. And upon seeing a doctor, basically, the type of seizures that most people with Lyme have are called limbic seizures, and they occur in the limbic part of your brain. Well, the limbic part of your brain is down in the very, very bottom, right before the brain stem. And basically, our best guess is that when I had this limbic seizure, it crossed over into my cortex, and there was activity in my cortex. And the important thing to note is I've had several EKGs, and they've been perfectly normal. And the reason is they only test the top half of the brain. So any activity that I have is always in the lower half, the limbic system. So that's why a lot of those tests are normal. So that was a really interesting piece to understand. And so by passing into my cortex, um, I kind of got really jumbled up. My postictal state was very, very long. Um, and that's why the memory loss came in, basically. And he basically described it as I've lost long-term and short-term memory. So it is a version of amnesia, but it was brought on by a limbic seizure that passed over into the cortex of the brain. Hope that makes sense to somebody. So we had to hold off treatment for another week. 2 weeks, actually. I go back to see him not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. And this is basically every time we have this, it's expected, but it pushes my treatment back farther. So instead of 16 weeks, we're probably looking at more like 24 weeks. And, we may have more stumbling blocks on the way. So you just can't expect to be done in 6 months. It's kind of like college. You try for 4 years, you end up with 6. Anyway, it's that part's not too frustrating. It's just um, it's hard knowing that my brain is what is stopping us from moving forward, and it's hard not to push too hard. But I find when I push too hard and take in too much information, um, I have a new kind of headache that's been here since all this started, and I get like it's like my brain is just responding to too much, and I get this hard headache. I've had a few migraines, but I don't know. I'm curious to see how those are tied in with this new headache. It's strange. It runs like a pair of eyeglasses behind my ear and then down my neck. And then when I'm getting a migraine, it feels like there's an ice pick going through my eye. So, and when I get really overwhelmed, I just have to disappear and go hide in the dark, which is really awful. But it's like I've taken in too much information and I need to stop and slow down. So, we're taking it the best we can. I can't say it's not difficult. It's really difficult, especially not recognizing people and not recognizing the people I live with, the person I live with. It's been very, very hard on both her and me in different ways. And it's kind of hard to even explain what it is like. It took a few days before it really, really hit her just what it was. I don't think it was being upset that I didn't remember her, but she was just very. It hit her finally what had happened, and it hit everybody in different ways. I can't say that it's all terrible, but it is very difficult. Beyond that, this weekend we went. Like I said, there was a family event, and we took the dogs and stayed at her dad's house. Um, For those of you who don't know, in 2006, I had a seizure. I'm by my memory, so you gotta know. I had a seizure and I was in a cast because I tore a bunch of muscles in my left leg, I think. And we were at her dad's house, and the dog had a tick on her, and the tick crawled up out of my cast. And later I had a rash on my leg once they took it off 2 weeks later or something to that effect. There was a tick in the cast. So we're assuming that I got bit during that period of time. That's my second bite that we're aware of. So we were back at her dad's. The grass was really high, and I was really trying to avoid being outside. It was the night we were getting ready to head home. We were packing up the dogs. I was laying on the bed watching TV, and the dogs came in, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, she let them upstairs. They came in from outside. A couple minutes later, I'm like scratching my leg, and it feels like I've got a scab, and I know I don't have a scab because I would have to have done something to remember. And my immediate response was, don't pick it. And so I pulled my pants up. It was right above my knee, and I had a tick. Wonderful, right? Just what I need. The tick had bitten me, and we removed it. Couldn't get the head out. Finally got the head out. I still have a rash. Called the doctor. There's nothing we can do because I can't be on antibiotics, and may have to be retested, but hopefully it's not the worst thing in the world. Jackie found a tick later on her too, so we know we've got to spend 2 weeks there at the end of the summer for teaching, and we need to be very, very careful. So hopefully nothing bad comes out of that. I gotta go. I'm running out of time, but hope everybody's well, and I'll try to keep you posted.